policies on them without doing proper research. In the field of education, we have no doubt been influenced by the Education Act of 1980, where research is concerned. The Act does not have many instances of the need for research. Two sections stands out from a 10-page document, defining the several categories of students requiring special education treatment and making provisions as to the special treatment appropriate to the students of each category is something that the minister should make regulations about, paragraph 43. And then just one other paragraph that deals with anything to encourage us to do research. The minister may direct the Education Board for any compulsory education area to ascertain what is information which children of compulsory age, school age, residing in such area require special education treatment. And after considering the report of the Education Board, the minister may take such steps as he thinks fit to provide for the education of any such children requiring special education treatment. It seems that only those needing special education need to have some research done. No harm can be done to the vast majority of regular students, it will appear. 20 years ago, the approach to teaching, 20 years later, the approach to teaching has changed. In a green paper for the year 2000, Education, the Way Upward, it states, this green paper, 2000, represents a commitment of the government of Jamaica to engage our people in the strongest possible partnership for development through education. The paper demanded some critical minimum targets: 3% annual improvement in primary school attendance, 55% of all students who are enrolled in primary grade by September 1997 to demonstrate full mastery of literacy, 35% of the same group to demonstrate near mastery or full mastery by the year of 2004, 5% average annual increase in high school enrollment, 2% annual reduction in the number of schools needing major repairs, 2% annual improvement in the number of students passing English and mathematics. The figures are abysmal. And have we studied them to find out if we have achieved them? 2% increase here, 1% increase there. The big question is, who is providing research for these data? And more importantly, who can understand the statistics? As educators, we have to be the ones who know how to gather information. Without the know-how, we run the risk, like so many leaders, of being shown up when we make pronouncements that are not based on research. No political leader here. No present company excluded. One report in the Gleaner of September 6, 2006, entitled White House Whitewash, explains this point. At his Monday evening post-cabinet press briefing, the Information Minister studiously reproduced the most flattering section of the audit report, leaving the impression that the team of auditors had vindicated the state-run UDC, and by extension, the government. In fact, one media house fell into the trap and trumpeted White House vindicated, based on the information of the minister's statement. But the true story, as is to be expected, is in the full audit report, which took all of 10 months to complete and cost 28 million. When the Parliament and the journalists got the chance to go through the entire document the day after the Information Minister's revelation, it turned out that the UDC and its sidekick consultants were not smelling so good after all. But how many of us will take the time to read in full and not pass on like that newspaper did, wrong information? At various green and white papers have shown, Jamaican teachers are in a position to write their future, to continue in that capacity as tutored trained leaders in the fields have to continue. We have to take for granted that most of the points on which we make assumptions and thus develop policies have not been tested. Indulge me a little while I take you through the results of research of young people and behaviors. A research that I did. I'm going to ask you to do a show of hands about who you think, male or female, girl or boys, engage in a particular behavior more than others. In the research, it asked questions about type of behaviors that people engage in, and they did it quietly, nobody looking over their shoulders, and when they're finished, they took it and put it in a box that was sealed so that they could have some privacy. And some surprises came out. But I'd like to see how many of you think that males are more likely to do some kind of behaviors, and females are more likely to do some types of behaviors. How many of you think, and show me your hands please to breathe, that males are more likely to go to strip clubs? You're right. But believe it or not, 70% of the girls said they had never been, and 60% of the boys said they had never been. But more boys said that they had been frequently and regularly than girls. You're right on that one, you know, we get all of them right. How many of you believe that girls are more likely to attempt suicide than boys? Attempt, not think about it, actually attempt it. Yes, girls are more likely to attempt. But the vast majority of our young people have never attempted suicide. With the media keep reporting on the different suicides that are happening, we think that the rate has gone up and young people are running to do it. But the vast majority of our young people, 97% of males and 92% of females, have never attempted suicide. Who thinks that males would be more likely to go to a sporting event, go watch a football match or something? That one is easy now. And you're right. Who thinks that females are more likely to go to a religious service or go to prayer meeting or something during the week, not on Sundays? You're quite right. However, 50% of the males and 50% of the females wrote that they go to a prayer meeting or something during the week, religious, regularly. But more females said that they went very often. But 50% of the males and 50% of the females about said that they go to something during the week, go to their church during the week. It's not just a female thing. How many of you think that female is more likely to go and confess her sins to a minister, one actually talk to a minister of religion or a priest and confess her sins, and that boys won't? How many of you think that a female is more likely to do that? You're wrong. More males go very often and often than females. The vast majority of the participants don't confess their sins. They keep the things to themselves. But more males go very often to confess their sins and go often to confess their sins. And just one last one. How many of you, no, sorry, two last one. How many of you think that boys talk about sex more than girls? This is good. I'm putting doubt in your mind. No, you're not going to always get it right. And you're right, boys talk about sex more than girls. And then finally, the nice touchy one. How many of you think that males are having more sexual relations than females? Twice as many females as males wrote that they are having sex very often. Twice as many females as males wrote that they were having sex very often. guys have to be happy section somebody. Brothers and sisters, Dr. Clark has said that transformation must take place in the classroom. I encourage that for that transformation to take place, we have to be informed and we have to bring the facts about our society into there. Otherwise, we're going to perpetuate myths and attitudes that are incorrect. Dr. Hamilton said something even more striking, that education is like knitting, and if we knit in the wrong attitude, it will take a lot of effort to unknit it, because we'll have to go back through and start over. And so it puts a lot of burden on us to inform ourselves. And though the inertia when we're in college is there not to do the work that is required, please take the time while you're here going through to go through the difficult task of doing research, learning how to do it, and then in your practice in the schools to demand it that things are studied before any policies are made. Thank you.
There are 3 points I want to state coming out of Dr. Shields' presentation. He says, get the facts. Do the research. Let your practice be research-driven. It is not enough to look at a group of students and say, they're lazy, they're worthless. Why are they supposedly lazy and worthless? Get the facts. And we're seeing that when we get the facts, our attitude changes. You know, for a long time, Dr. Shields, they told us that the ratio, and I really liked it, you know, they said the ratio of women to men was 1 to 7. I liked it in one sense and one that I was going to manage 6 others. Until I got the facts and realized that the ratio of men to women in Jamaica was actually 1 man to about 1.7 or something like that. It's about equal. Get the facts. Can we put our hands together again for Dr. Shields? I'm going to invite the Catholic College of Mandeville, that is the students, to come and present their item, or is it her item? It's like a solo. Let's put our hands together for the Catholic College of Mandeville, partner in this program.
God, who did not create an immutable world, a thing incapable of change, who does not govern according to eternal laws that remain inviolate. I believe in God, who willed our conflict in life and wanted us to change the status quo through our work, through our politics. I believe in Jesus Christ, who was right when he, like each of us, just another individual, couldn't beat political systems, worked to change the status quo, and was destroyed. Looking at him, I see how our intelligence is crippled, our imagination stifled, because we do not live like he did. Every day, I am afraid that he died in vain, because he is buried in our churches, because we have betrayed his revolution in our obedience to authority and our fear of it. I believe in Jesus Christ, who rises again and again in our lives, so that we will be free from prejudice and arrogance, from fear and hate, and make way for his kingdom. I believe in the Spirit that Jesus brought into this world is the brotherhood of all nations. I believe it is up to us what our earth becomes. A vale of tears, starvation and tyranny, or a city of God. I believe in the just peace that can be achieved in a meaningful life for all people. I believe this world of God has a future. Amen.
Could we have her name, please? I'd like to refer to Swain. Swain, thank you very much. Let's put our hands together again. Consider that the ending. This world has a future, and together we're going to create it. Monsignor Michael Palud is going to come in a little while to declare the conference open. I pray your indulgence, ladies and gentlemen, and as we ask late arrival Steve Williams of the Jamaica Teachers Association to stand in for Mr. Michaels, to our immediate past president who was unable to come. Mr. Williams, will you come forward now, please? And immediately following Mr. Williams' greetings will be the declaration of the conference open, to be done by Monsignor Michael Palud.
Sister Yuna CEO, Dr. President of the Catholic College of Mandeville, our Master of Ceremonies, Sister Doctors, other dignitaries at the FT, colleagues all, good morning. I think this is beautiful day. First, let me apologize for being this late, but currently the Manchester Teachers Association has a function going on across at Manchester High School, the launching of the Manchester chapter of the Women's Caucus, and so I was integrally involved there. Yes, I heard the check. Let me, on behalf of the Jamaica Teachers Association, congratulate the Catholic College of Mandeville, along with the St. Mary's University of Minnesota, for such a wonderful venture in a time as this, when it seems very difficult to recall. Never before has education in Jamaica and in the Caribbean is at a juncture where data and information is critical to one's ultimate development. Personally, I like the thought of a rounded individual and congratulations are in order to the Catholic College of Mandeville, because having received students from here for teaching practice, or practicum, I have seen well-rounded individuals. We must, however, take heart and believe in the fact that Rome was never built in one day. And so it is. We're going to have teething pains. But at the end, we want to be sure that our efforts were never in vain. Forgive me and pardon me to single out one Miss Nadine Nemhard, but she's my teacher. And even though I'm principal at the school, her work at the Catholic College influences my action. Yes. Because, and I'm going to be practical, even though I'm supposed to be bringing greetings, but she never does anything without saying, "Sir, is this looking the part?" So in turn, as leader, I learn. So I'm seeing where we are creating the future, not just by ourselves, but together. And in coming, I just want to say to all my teacher friends here, and this is not a paid advertisement, but Stevie Williams, the face you're looking at, seeks to represent you at the highest level. And I am hoping that this partnership that we so engender can continue so that we can create the future together for one land, one Jamaica, one education system.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. The invoice is on the way. Monsignor, will you kindly come, please?
Good afternoon. No, good morning, everyone. Everyone knows that the Catholic College of Mandeville is a wonderful institution, right? Yes. No, wrong. Our research proves. Got you there, eh? In fact, as we read in John chapter 3, verse 16, sorry, I got it wrong. Let me quote the children. SMU, we know way out too. And CCM, we know big too. Yes, it has been a wonderful morning. We have heard extraordinary speeches. And as the chairman of the Board of Governors and the chairman of the Board of Directors, I'm always very proud of this institution. I have seen it grown from infancy stage to where it is now. And I want to laud and applaud and congratulate all the persons who have been involved with the college since its inception. And it goes without saying that we recognize our president, who has been at the helm since the babyhood of this college to its now adulthood. I want to congratulate also Dr. Hamilton as the coordinator of this wonderful program. And therefore, now knowing that our research has been done, and also that the JTA agrees with this research, I would like to now officially proclaim in my capacity the Spring Conference 2011 under the theme, Creating Our Future Together, officially open.
Thank you very much, Monsignor. I hasten on. I invite Mark Smith, please, to come and do the vote of thanks for us.
I have been forewarned of time and restriction, so let me hasten to my duty. Members of the head table, good morning. I'd also like to extend a good morning to all the individuals in attendance, and of course a special good morning to our main clients, those are the students. Give a round of applause for them. One of the central focuses of the Catholic College, in conjunction with SMU, the curriculum really revolves around this central concept, that of community, and the significance of not just community, but quality communities. The theme, Creating the Future Together, really creates a perfect springboard for me to go on to thank all the individuals that have worked tirelessly to make this conference a success. And we encourages from the administration, headed by Dr. Ullman and Dr. Hamilton, all the lecturers, all the members of the administrative staff. Let me see, how could I forget the ancillary staff? I've seen them scurrying around the place, really getting everything perfectly in order. I'd also like to thank all the presenters, because they have made an invaluable contribution to this conference. And you, the guests in attendance, very important, without which we really wouldn't have a conference worth talking about. And finally, to all those individuals who brought greetings, or individuals who made speeches, some of them impromptu, so I wouldn't call names, and for our guest speaker, who really reinforced the concept of the necessity of research. Research directs action, and research propels us into the future. I will no longer continue because I'm getting the time check. So maybe we'll put your hands together for all the individuals that have made a contribution to the successful 2011 Student Conference. Thank you.
Mark, you've proven to them that you can be short. Thank you very much. May I invite you, ladies and gentlemen, to join me standing. We're going to do the national anthem. Immediately after the anthem, there will be a short break, shorter than scheduled in the program, so that we can make it back for some of the time. The seminars will continue thereafter. You would have registered for particular sessions. We ask you to cooperate with us and go directly to the sessions for which you're registered, and so that we might have a smooth running of the rest of the conference. The National Anthem of Jamaica. Eternal Father, bless our land, guide us with thy mighty hand, keep us free from evil powers, be our light through countless hours, to our leaders, great defender, grant true wisdom from us. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon.
Mary, please find your seat. How much time should I tell you not to eat in the class? What is wrong with you? Please find a seat. I am tired of talking to you. What are you coming to me for now, John? Mary is speaking to you. Mary, come to me. Why are you kicking the boy? If you have a problem, should you kick him or come to me? Have you experienced behaviors like these in your classroom? Anyone?
Yes.
How have you dealt with them?
Sometimes I shout at them, or sometimes I call the offending party and ask what's the matter.
Good, good. Now, I have experienced similar disruptions in my classroom, and I have used strategies to deal with them. But before I go into that, let me tell you something. I have been teaching for 5 years, and for 3 years, I have been teaching grade 2 students. Over the years, I have observed students displaying numerous disruptions in the classroom. I had dialogue with the grade 1 teacher, and she revealed to me that the students were also disruptive in grade 1. I tried numerous strategies to deal with these students, but students would be settled for a while, but then they continued to display inappropriate behaviors. I tried counseling, reprimanding, talking to students, but they would only be settled for a while. Then the disruption begins again. I realized that I was using stringent measures in dealing with students' disruptive behavior in my classroom. And so, Turek and Browers, 2004, Limehouse, 2005, Clooney's Ross, Little, all agreed that disruptive behavior caused teachers to be overworked and exhausted. They posited that these behaviors affected both students physically and also teachers. According to Charlton and David, 2003, if teachers find alternative ways to deal with problematic behaviors, instead of resorting to strict measures, then the disruptive behavior that students display will improve. Jones and Charlton supported the view. And they say that teachers should use proactive strategies when dealing with students who display disruptive behavior in the classroom. They also posited that if we only focus on the good behaviors and ignore the disruptive behavior, then we're going to give students the wrong signal. We're going to give them the wrong signal by allowing them to think that the best way to get attention is to display disruptive behaviors. And the best way in order for students to be recognized is to display behaviors that inhibit other students. As I go along, I often heard students in my class complaining, "Sit down, stop shake my hand, Miss, call to this boy, Miss, call to this girl, Miss, this girl is eating in the class." And it goes on and on. I also observed in my classroom that disruptive students were unable to communicate effectively with both teacher and peers. When given tasks they found difficult,
They would often hit other students, talk excessively in the classroom. They would eat or even leave their seats to argue with other students over trivial matters such as, I lent your pencil yesterday and I want it now. And they would be there giving themselves trouble, dragging away the pencil that the person would be writing with. And these disruptions go on and on. I also try to group students based on the persons with whom they have an interest. So, if I see, say for example, he is in my classroom. His name, what is his name, sir? His name is first name. His name is Keith. And she is in my class. What is her name? Her name is Brianna. They're sitting there doing their work. All of a sudden, Keith decided he should harass Brianna. No. How do you think Brianna would react to Keith's disruption? Start a fight. Anything else? Complain to the teacher. Shout at him. Starting the fight. Would Brianna be disrupting the class too? Yes. Good. So Keith caused Brianna to be disruptive. And so that also inhibits other students learning in the classroom. Do you experience these in your class? Yes. Okay. Now we are on the right track. Good? Now, I grouped those two students together because I saw that they had an interest, or I saw that Keith had an interest in Brianna. So I grouped them together in an attempt to see if the students they had an interest in would help them to curtail the behavior. Because sometimes students express themselves in different ways. You know. Sometimes they want attention, and they don't know how to get it from the person next to him or her, so they display disruptive behavior. Do you experience this in your classroom? Good. Now, what are some of the strategies that you employ to curtail these disruptive behaviors that you encounter in your classroom? I will take two responses.